Myo family, and welcome to this episode of the Myo Minute. We're continuing this conversation all about the basic stuff of orofacial myofunctional therapy. In this episode, we're going to be talking about what does a comprehensive orofacial myofunctional exam involve. But first, for those of you who are new to me, let me introduce myself. My name is Carmen Woodland. I am an orofacial myofunctional therapist. I have an online practice, which means I have beautiful humans all around the world that I get to help. The first step in that journey, I talked about this last time when we talked about what that journey looks like from A to Z. It always starts with an exam. And a lot of people have questions about that process. So when I complete a comprehensive examination with somebody, we accomplish several tasks, and I'm going to just break that down for you. So the first one, why are you here? Where do you want to go? It doesn't matter how bad I think your symptoms are. It doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. What matters is what you want to solve, what really is your pain point, what results you're looking for, and if I can help you and how we're going to get there. So that's the number one thing. You have to point your ship for us. And if you don't know what's possible or what you want, it makes it really hard for me to know how to get you there. So that's the first thing we look at. Why are you here? What do you want to do? What are your goals? Then we start to take a deeper dive into what I like to call your symptom burden. So you fill out pages of paperwork, like 8 pages of paperwork that helps us understand a lot of your symptoms. We look at areas like infancy and early childhood. We look at airway, breathing concerns, oral resting posture, digestive, eating behaviors, chewing, swallowing concerns. We evaluate whether you have a tongue tie history, whether somebody else in your family does, whether you've had a previous frenectomy, if you've had a tie diagnosed, that kind of stuff. We evaluate toxic oral habits, non-nutritive sucking. Any oral habit really is a concern. We take a deep dive into your dental history, your orthodontic history. Do you have speech history concerns, speech therapy concerns, those type of things. What about the tension? What about that upper body aches and pains, head, neck stuff? We look at posture. We really spend a lot of time talking about sleep. We look at behavior issues. And then also, as part of your paperwork, we look at several important scales or scores. So the first one being the Epworth Sleepiness Scale, which this is the gold standard for evaluating daytime sleepiness. So we look at that. We look at a fatigue severity score, and so this evaluates the impact of fatigue on you. We look at the Pittsburgh Sleep Quality Assessment, which is the gold standard for measuring sleep quality and sleep patterns. For kiddos, we look at the Pediatric Sleep Questionnaire. We also look at the quality of life scores for everybody. And so this just gauges how different myofunctional impairments are affecting your quality of life. And then also I look at the sleep hygiene index. So you can see that I take a ton of information and we just start to distill it down into looking for root causes, like why is something going on? You have the symptom, but what about it? Let's not just name it. What can we do with that information? Then we look at oral function. So this is something I look at, like how are the muscles working? Can you complete certain tasks? Where are you compensating? I always like to use the example of lifting a box with your back. You know, we're supposed to lift with our legs. We're never supposed to crank our back, but all of us do at one time or another. Or we're supposed to move our feet to reposition, to lift or put something down. And a lot of us don't, so we hurt our back. The same thing happens for the tongue and the orofacial muscles. If you're not used to using those muscles or they're not working correctly, then you use other muscles. So a lot of people, they'll use muscles here in their neck and their platysma. So we call those compensations. That's what we look at. Like, how do we stop doing A so we can correctly do B? Then I evaluate what else you need. Some of my clients need help with eustachian tube dysfunction. Some need sleep health promotion work. Some need a lot of TMD support. Some just need extra support, extra hand holding, those type of things. So once we determine that stuff, then at the end of the exam, we talk about the next steps. what it takes to get started with us. I write a comprehensive written report that I send to you. If you want me to, I send it to your doctor or any other providers that we're going to put on the team with us. And then sometimes I send resources for you, depending on what that is, or different things that I say I'm going to send you. So that really is what the exam looks like. Fast, it's furious, it takes a deep dive, and that it gives me a big snapshot about what's going on. One of the common question is, at what point do we identify a tongue tie? Remember, a tongue tie is identified based on function, not appearance. So going back to that oral function that I just talked about, when I have you do functional assessments, retraction, elevation, protrusion, lateralization, can you do different movements? That's when I'm evaluating that oral function. Okay. So with that said, if you're a human who has problems with mouth breathing, low resting tongue posture, you've got digestive issues, your swallow is terrible, your sleep is terrible, you're snoring, you have or suspect a tongue tie, maybe you're just tired, maybe you just feel like poop, you have pain, anxiety, depression, jaw issues, all of those things really tie into the stuff that I do. So if that's you, you need to get your exam scheduled. That's the first place to start. And then we just kind of get started on that beautiful journey together. I'm the person who helps you make that messy journey magical. Okay, so if that's you, get your exam scheduled. If it's not you, if it's somebody that you know or love or care about or just a friend, share this information with them so that we can make an impact on their life today too. You guys, that's all I have for you today. I'll be back next time and we'll talk about another hot topic. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.